Yes. No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect the opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low.
Let's go. Clap hands there. Sinker. Professional, see? Add it in because it could be a
t-shirt in the way.
Yes, indeed.
Did you wear yours?
I know. You had to do that, didn't you?
I brought mine.
He brought his. Podcast Nation. You can do it now for Rhodri Giggs and Rhodri Giggs on Football Friday 7:30.
I'll just start it.
What's happening? I got confused then. I pressed the wrong intro and I was like, what's going on? We're in the studio, but there we go. All good, mate. I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of Rhodri Giggs on football. This is episode number 32 as we come towards the end of the football season. We're live, as usual, on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. Ace Podcast Nation as well. You're home to many a great show and series featuring top guests, expert analysts and more. So please do give us a follow. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Really helps us out. Drop a like, a comment, all of that good stuff. If you prefer your podcasts in audio form, then you can check out this series, plus all the other content we produce at the Sports Social Podcast Network. So check them out. Tell them we sent you. And they also drop some clips from all the different shows now and again as well. And a little update from the Super Six as we wait for some of the stragglers and the latecomers. We've had 2 rounds since the last show. Gemma Pengelly topped Saturday, and ex-Cardiff City legend Cohen Griffith topped Tuesday round. Rhodri missed Tuesday's round, so I am now an unassailable 42 points ahead. Oh yeah, it's good. But the big news story from the week is that Donna Perry finished second, so she is, for the first time in the whole season, earned her mention in the update. So well done, Donna. Nice one. Next round, Rhodri, is Saturday on 3 o'clock, mate, okay? Don't forget, because, you know, it's let you down. Last couple of weeks, you've really let the side down.
You know what? I thought about it yesterday. I'm thinking, was it Super Six? Maybe. No, it couldn't have been. But it was obviously Tuesday, yeah. Never mind.
It was Easter, mate, which done you, in fairness.
Yeah.
Those 3 over one weekend. Just, I had a couple of good ones, and you missed at least one of them, I think. And it's such is life,
mind.
but
What's happened now? Have you freeze? What's going on here? Because I can't hear you. You had another power cut? Because I'm here still live here. So he's had a power cut just before we went on. So he had to go on his phone and then he got it back on. And now it looks like he's had another one.
Yeah.
Back on the phone again.
Yeah, back on my phone. I don't know what's going on. It's not even a full power cut. Like, it's just like the TVs and the computers and everything just going off. Like everything's just gone off again. Fuck knows. Right. Which means I've got no notes or nothing. So there we go. We'll have to do it on the fly. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about how fantastic I am at Super Six predictions, which also means come the end of the season, you should probably you should have to say something, shouldn't you, to acknowledge my greatness, I suppose. But
I think if you start next season both at the start of the season, then you'll probably get that.
All right, here we go.
You'd have a little advantage, so yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. But there we go. Mate, so much been going on in football, so we got quite a lot to fit into the next 60 minutes or so. I got to start with the Champions League, I think, mate. It's been a week of football. Like, I've seen a lot of people saying, like, the Man City Madrid game was the best football match they've ever seen. And it's hard to disagree in some ways, but I think there's a few which I would name which are better. As a game of football to watch, by the way, for someone who didn't really give two hoots, what the score was, who won. What a game of football, mate! There's some incredible goals. Shout out to Benzema for that penalty, though, mate. Balls of steel, that is.
His first goal as well, the way he guided it. That wasn't easy as well with his left foot. He's right-footed, so top player. And he's probably not seen the best of him because Ronaldo's been there, but now you are seeing the best of him because he's probably the main man. Yeah.
Those he's missed his last two penalties as well, like recently as well.
Yeah, it's just like,
it's another level, mate, isn't it? To be able to have just the confidence, but also the execution as well. Like, if you mess it up, you look stupid. And it was proper. It was really good.
It was a good game. Best game I've ever seen.
Not sure about that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not. It's didn't have everything, didn't have sending offs, didn't have penalty misses, didn't have, controversy. I wasn't controversial. It's up there, but no.
I do think Man City may rue the missed chances. Like, it should have been game over by half time, really.
Yeah. It won't be easy there. It won't be easy. It won't. So it'd be tough in Madrid, but they've got a 1-0 start. Madrid have got to come out. They come out anyway. They played. Madrid aren't scared. They'll go toe to toe with them again, and we'll get another barnstormer. So, it's just.
I think the one thing which helps them, mate. I was going to say the one thing I think which helps them is the fact they played Atletico in the last round, so they have got recent experience of going away to Madrid in a hostile atmosphere.
It's a totally different game, mate. Atletico Madrid will sit off them. Madrid won't sit off them. Yeah, play. So, it's a little bit of element of that, but it's Real Madrid. It's a totally different animal. It's semi-final. It's the nerves are twitching because they haven't won the Champions League, so the pressure's on City. They're expected to win. So they've still got to do it, but it's not going to be easy. It won't be easy. It won't be shocked if Madrid come away with a win. That put it that way. But it's how much they win. But if City go away and play like they can, they should win.
Pep only plays one way, mate, as well, is the other thing.
No, but it's just a different animal being in that Bernabeu. I've been in it many times. I've been in it a few times actually, and it's loud. It is loud, and it's totally different from being at home. So, like I say, it won't be easy.
Anyone who stuck out for you for City? I thought Foden.
Usual suspects: Mahrez, Foden, De Bruyne. Jesus has stepped up in the last month or so. So, they're just lacking that. If Kyle Walker's playing, some of them goals don't even happen. So they're missing a right-sided defender. So, but other than that, I'm pretty sure if they've got Cancelo back or Kyle Walker back, they'll be a lot stronger.
Yeah, I think Madrid, I think it was their second goal, wasn't it? He skins Fernandinho on the halfway line and he is just gone.
Yeah.
And I think
that's
against
Fernandinho because he knows he's quick, trying to get tight to him, so he didn't turn him. Then he's obviously, he's got a run in him, and he's got no chance. Yeah,
he was quick, man. That was
he was very quick. Yeah, he's very quick.
Down, but
really good finish.
That's what Kyle Walker gives you, I guess, isn't it? I was so disappointed, mate, with Villarreal. Like they've beaten Bayern Munich and Juve on the way to get into the semi-final, and they just didn't turn up at all.
They didn't turn up, but they didn't give the tie away, did they? They're still in it, really. They get a goal. They get a goal at Villarreal. Then it's only one goal, and then anything can happen. So they're still in it. They've got a result at Bayern Munich. So they beat some good teams along the way. They're organised, but they didn't play as well as they can, like you say. But they're at home. They still fancy themselves. They're still in it. But you'd fancy Liverpool just to see that out, because you can't see Liverpool not scoring with the firepower they've got now. You just can't see them not scoring.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Liverpool seem like they will just score whoever they play against. I fancied Villarreal to put up. I thought it was going to be a bit of a sticky situation for Liverpool, and I was just very disappointed with how they went about their business, considering how well they've played against Bayern and Juve and United last year. Like we all know they can do it.
People don't realise, especially these times, Anfield is such a difficult place to go. And when the team's firing like they are, it's not easy, mate. It's not easy when they're putting pressure on you in groups like they do. It's not easy. But, they would have expected to play a little bit better. But when teams are putting pressure on you like that, it's not easy. The noise as well. Anfield's a noisy place, especially on the Thursday and the midweek games under the lights. It's a good atmosphere, and it's not easy.
Yeah, there's something special about those midweek games under the lights at places like Old Trafford and the Bernabeu and Anfield, places like that. There's just something which makes them incredible occasions. Even in the early stages of the tournament, it always feels like those Champions League games are big deals at those places. I used to love, back in the day when it was on ITV every other week or whatever. And like I say, it just felt like a big occasion all the time. So you could understand sometimes when, with no disrespect to Villarreal, but some of the smaller teams come, they play in these stadiums. Like you say, Liverpool are firing. It's going to be difficult. And then if you don't get off to a great start, or you're just not quite firing, it's a long way back, isn't it? But at their own gaff, I'd like to think they'll put up a better showing, at least.
Yeah, but it will. But like I say, it's whoever scores first, really. Whoever scores first. If Villarreal score first, then it's game on. If Liverpool score, then it's game over. Where the other game is a bit more balanced. City could score one, but Real Madrid could score 2 or 3. So that one's a bit more balanced, but Liverpool, you'd expect them to go on and win it now.
There's a couple more games in Europe tonight. You've got Rangers versus Leipzig at Leipzig and West Ham at home to Frankfurt. Do you think both the British teams will go through there, or do you think it could be a bit tricky?
Rangers going to be tough, but they beat some good sides along the way, so that they've got a chance. And you'd expect West Ham and Leicester to go on.
Yes, I'd like to see them, them all go through, to be honest. But I'd like to see if Rangers can get to the final or something like that. Like that's a special thing. And I think particularly you got to give Steven Gerrard credit for being the one who started that run, that revolution, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be fascinating. You've also got United versus Chelsea going on at the moment. I've seen some stories about your team this week, mate. They need to just get rid of so many of those players. Toxic as hell.
What kind of stories?
Just always whatever I read, you could just—it's like player X is not happy with the manager
But mate,
because of extra training or
you've got to
toxic
take this. You've
changing
got to take
room.
this kind of shit with a pinch of salt. Every day there's a different story. Do you really? I know personally from the stories. That's not true. That's not true. They're all full of shit. 85% of these stories will not be true. They're just, United's in problems. There's just story after story after story because United sells newspapers. Story from United sells newspapers. It brings attention. It's always been the same, mate. Always been the same. I would take that with a pinch of salt. Yes, there's problems in there, but stories coming out every single day. No.
Yeah, it can't be. It's like been like a daily thing almost.
Yeah. It's just a joke. And there's someone coming in there and getting a grip of it and stopping all this nonsense because it's just become a joke.
What do you think of? There was a story about them. Ten Hag wanted Steve McLaren as his assistant, and the board have straight away said no. I don't know if it's true. Number one, and also, it seems very strange to bring a manager in, announce him. And then
it's just nonsense, mate. It's just nonsense. You think about it. If you're bringing a manager in and the manager wants a coach and the owner's saying no straight away, that's not a good start.
No.
So that's just crap. It's just crap. It's just
negativity.
More stuff and more turmoil. You just got to just let it go over your head because it's just that is just nonsense. That as if he wanted to bring someone in, he'd be bringing them in. End of story. It's part of his team. He's coming in. I want him to come in. That's it. It'd be end of story. It don't yeah, nonsense.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No,
to bring him in and then deny him something which seems so trivial. I know it's probably not trivial in the grand scheme of things. He wants the assistant he wants, but like to the board, I can't really understand why they would say no, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. They wouldn't.
So we saw in the Championship, mate, the 3 teams gone down. Reading have stayed up. Congratulations to them. They done Reading, they hit form at the best possible time because exactly when they won a couple of games, Derby struggled for points. Barnsley picked up a couple, but
we've got to give props to the manager, Paul Ince. He's come in and they seem to
steady the ship, hasn't he?
Yeah, he steadied the ship and got the results to keep them up because they looked like dead in the water, but then they picked up and got the results they needed, and yeah, they're now they're safe, and so yeah, you got to give props to him, really.
I feel for Wayne Rooney because I think next year Derby are going to struggle, and the reason I think that is if you look at League One, there's so many big teams in there with bigger budgets than the rest of the team. There's like 5 or 6 teams which have got financial budgets compared to the teams at the bottom is just unreal. And I understand that it's not just about your budget, but if he is going to have to go in with predominantly academy players with the odd free, I just think it's going to be very difficult. Like we talk about the Championship and how difficult it is because anyone could beat anyone on the day. I think League One is just as challenging. And I was looking at it the other day and I just think I don't think it's going to be a case of just bouncing back up like some people think.
Well, it won't be easy, but it depends what he's got, like you say, what kind of squad he's got, what kind of players he can bring in. If he keeps half of the nucleus of the players, like Ravel Morris and stuff like that, I think them type of players will stay. And if they keep the core and the nucleus of the players, then they've got a good chance because, that's it, right? If they hadn't had the deduction, they would be mid-table easily, comfortably.
Yeah.
So, it's not going to be easy, but I'd still expect them to get promoted.
Do you 100%, without doubt, think he'll be the manager at the start of next year?
Yeah.
I've just got a nagging thing for me. Like, I think he probably will. He seems like he's already starting to think about next season.
Yeah.
But just part of me thinks if a big club comes in.
If you know anything about Wayne Rooney, he's a fighter. He's pretty loyal.
Yeah. I think it's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, so and he seems like he's after his speech after the season and stuff like that to all the people in the training ground and all the dinner ladies and everyone was involved. So he can't seem to have got his feet under the table there. So I can't see him move anywhere.
No, be interesting. I can't bring the championship. I can't bring anything up at the moment, so I'm doing everything from memory. It's looking a bit tight up in the top half as well. Obviously, you've got Huddersfield are guaranteed a playoff place now, but you've still got Forest, Huddersfield,
Talk about
and
Forest, didn't I?
yeah. But they've all, I think, so Bournemouth and Forest have both got a game in hand over the teams around them, but ultimately they haven't got a game in hand over each other. So I think if Forest had a game in hand over Bournemouth, I would fancy Forest. But because Bournemouth have got that game in hand as well, I kind of think they should both win those games, and it looks like Bournemouth will take that final place. But you just don't know, do you? Like Forest and Huddersfield are both bang in form, both there. If Bournemouth slip up, if Bournemouth don't win their last 2 games or 3 games, whatever it is, if Bournemouth don't win all those games, Forest or Huddersfield will take that second place.
And Luton only need one win, really. What I'm looking at here, Luton.
Yeah, I think one would take them to 75, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I think so. But that's a bit of pressure on Bournemouth. Like they've been up in that second space majority of the season. If they lose a game now, they lose second place.
Blackburn have slid down the table as well, aren't they?
It's disappointing. Like they've had that bad run of form at the wrong time.
What's the chance of Chris Wilder swapping places with his old club? They're like 2 points behind, 2 games left. So that's going to go to the wire, isn't it? Unless Borough lose and Sheffield United win.
Borough, they looked decent against Cardiff yesterday. I didn't think they looked amazing, but I thought they looked like a Chris Wilder team, structured, pretty good on the break.
Middlesbrough got Stoke, and who's Sheffield United got? Sheffield United got QPR tomorrow.
See, QPR got nothing to play for. They've lost three of their last 5
at QPR.
Who have Bournemouth and Forest got? Have you got the fixtures in front of you?
I tell you what, QPR have still got a slight chance. Oh no, they haven't.
No, there's not enough games now, is there?
No, they'd get the same points if the both teams. But no. Millwall still got a chance though.
Yeah, it'd be tight. I think Middlesbrough have got the best chance, haven't they, of pinching a place?
Yeah,
and they did.
Yeah.
They've done it before.
Middlesbrough, Sheffield United. Yeah, it's one of them two.
So do the players feel that pressure, mate? Because
Bournemouth get this next week. Bournemouth play Nottingham Forest.
Oh, mate. Well, there you go. Whoever wins that, I'd say is taking second place.
Next Tuesday, Bournemouth at Nottingham Forest at Bournemouth.
Yeah, whoever wins that, I think will take second place, mate, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a bit of pressure on Bournemouth, mate. I really do.
Have a look at the goal difference. Oh, the goal difference are they both on the same?
Yeah, whoever wins that, mate. And then you've got Huddersfield. Like, if that game's a draw and Huddersfield win, that puts pressure on again. Like, Bournemouth just cannot afford to slip up. The one thing they've got in their favour is Kiefer Moore came back the other day, didn't he? And he bagged a couple against the Jacks. So, I mean, and he is motivated because he wants to play in that World Cup playoff for Wales. So he needs to bag a couple of goals now at the end of the season. He's got to be in good form and show he's fit. So obviously they fought back. Swansea conceded another 3-0 lead and dropped points. I mean, I know they haven't really got anything to play for, but that's got to be a bit of a concern in the grand scheme of things, because they've been 3-0 up now twice in the last couple of weeks and just capitulated. on Cardiff, I wanted to address something which has been peeving me, and I've saved it for now, really, to talk about it. I've seen a lot of fans on social media, Cardiff fans, giving it, "Oh, Steve Morrison, he's the wrong guy," this and it, like really slating him. And like I saw someone yesterday, and they were saying, "Oh, he's changed the team against Middlesbrough. He should be keeping his same formation, trying to get the wins." And it's like, no, in my opinion, he should be trying other players, other formations now, ready for next season. This season's over. Like, we can't do anything. So have a look at the players you've got. Have a look at some of the younger players. For him to keep us up, I've said this how many times? In January, we had no money. We looked relegation fodder. And he turned it around. He got the players playing. He brought the right players in. So he deserves to be able to go on next year and plan and bring in some players of his own, etc., etc. For certain fans to turn on him so quickly when really, they haven't got anything to play for. They're not playing for promotion, not trying to stay up. I think it's ludicrous, and everything that's wrong with football in the modern day, like fans just turn in like any day of the week, just a day which ends in Y, and they turn on the manager. It's embarrassing, mate. Honestly, embarrassing.
This is why you are where you are. This is where you are because you've got fans that are disgruntled. What else do they want? He's obviously thinking ahead because that's more important. This season's dead. It's finished. So you just see what works, see what doesn't work in game time, and just go from there. Who you're going to keep, who you're not going to keep, And he's probably planning for the next season now, looking at players he wants to bring in, looking at players he wants to keep. Yeah, so these fans, you just got to take no notice. This is why you got to be in as a manager and just do what you think's best for the club.
Like the one thing I'd say maybe that I think he could possibly do is he could have a look at some more like academy players and stuff like that because there's a few players who are playing who probably won't be here next year. So if he knows they're not going to be here next year, I do think he could perhaps bring in a couple of young players, have a look at them in a game situation. But, I can't criticise him particularly. He's kept us up when we look doomed. It's just, I find it incredibly frustrating to see the social media fan, I guess I'd call it, just turning on a sixpence all the time.
Yeah, you just can't be worried from what Macca says from Rumney.
Yeah,
you just can't. You just got to get on with it.
There's someone in the I can't see who said it because I'm on my phone. I think it's Craig said, "What about Josh Murphy?" So Josh Murphy was on loan. Someone will tell me where, because I read the story. He was on loan. He hasn't really played. He's been sent back before the season finished because of his attitude. I've been a bit of a supporter of him. I think he's got something, and I kind of said like he's one of them which needs 4 or 5 games in a row to get a bit of confidence. But if he's gone out on loan, like that's his chance to prove a point and play. So if he's gone there and he's had a bad attitude, if I'm Steve Morrison, I'm looking at that and probably thinking, all right, mate, we'll cut ties with that. But he's got to get rid of.
You see how he's in training first and see what it's like. So,
but he's had so much.
Just because it didn't work out somewhere else, it could be. We never privileged what the real information is, are we? So it could be anything, but you got to see what he's like in training. Chat to the lad and see. Just go from there.
Yeah, I agree with that to a certain extent. My only qualm with it is, in this particular case, he has had chance after chance after chance, and whether it's an attitude thing or a confidence thing, or I just don't know. But he has had a chance and hasn't done anything with it. And eventually, I think, like when do you say, right, okay, enough's enough? You're not, it's not going to work with you here. We're going to move on to something else. Like Cardiff's problem is they've got like 12 players going. So players who are a bit like, you're not sure if you should keep them or whatever, they may end up staying because we're going to be getting rid of them. We've got so many out of contract. it's this weird situation. But yeah, I accept that. Like, you don't know the situation. Like, he could have been, also, he could have, I don't know his situation, so I'm hypothesizing. But like, he could have, for instance, have a pregnant missus who's living in Cardiff, and he's up at X, Y, and Z playing football all week. That would be a very difficult situation. I have no idea what his situation is, but I'm just using that as an example. So, of course, there's reasons why people might be unsettled, isn't there? Mate. I want to make mention of this. I've seen some awful messages today. What's his name? I forget his first name, but Paul Pogba and Haaland's agent, Raiola, is apparently seriously ill in hospital. There was rumours going around today that he had died, but it's been confirmed that he hasn't died. But he is seriously ill in hospital. And look, I get that he's not popular, and I get that a lot of people think he's one of the reasons why football's ruined and blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But still a human being, got a family, got friends. I think...
Mate, all this crap is always used on social media. This is why this is the negative stuff of social media. You just got to understand social media is toxic in certain parts. So you're always going to get idiots, and it's an idiot with no picture on the profile.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, when Elon Musk brings in when you got to validate your ID for social media, that's going to change the game, mate. That is, but that should have been done about 2 years ago at least.
But this is what you get when you get a person of colour in higher up. He does the right thing. He does the thing.
Elon Musk is white.
He does the thing that should have been done ages ago.
Yeah, mate. Betting sites do it. Like, you have to provide ID and whatever.
No, it's not difficult. It's not going to stop people. It's not going to deter people. People are on it. People want to go on it. Especially now, you've got to provide just a little simple message in your inbox. You go through the routine of what you have to do. Dead easy. Log in. Boom, 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 boom. Dead easy. Take you 2 minutes.
Yeah, like Craig just said there in the chat, he said the rumours of Raiola dying brought back memories of when Peter Whittingham died. Obviously, with Peter Whittingham, there was the situation where he had fallen down some stairs, or he'd fallen over and hurt himself. He was seriously ill in hospital. But for like days before it was announced that he passed away, you had people trying to get the scoop on it, if you like, and be the first one to tell. It's awful. But like, I always, and Craig says that, like, imagine how his family felt, like, reading, or his kids, like, reading that. And like, Raiola, imagine how his kids would feel if they are on Twitter or Facebook, and you've just got random.
That's what I mean. All this would stop this once if you've got to produce. And then the others will follow suit. Facebook, Instagram. Yeah. They'll have to.
I hope so, mate, because I'm so over social media at the moment. If I didn't need it to promote the podcasts and stuff, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I'd probably be done with it, mate.
I'm not a big poster of it every day. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. Take it or leave it, to be honest.
Right, enough about football. Let's talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Okay. That's what we all want to talk about.
I've not seen it any today.
Oh, mate.
His solicitor's a bit of a numpty, though, isn't he?
Oh, did you see what he done with the so he brought in like a psychologist type lady, right?
He made a complaint about his own question, didn't he, or something?
Yeah. So I don't know if it was the same witness. He asked a question, so he said blah blah blah, and he went objection, and Johnny Depp's lawyer just went, "You asked the question." And he's like, Jesus Christ. She must have been sat there thinking, what am I paying you for?
And then you got his mate smoking a vape in the car and Johnny Depp laughing his tits off. You not seen that one?
No.
So the video calling, didn't know they could do that, but the video calling, someone who's supposed to be on the stand, so obviously he's took the oath and he's doing it by video. As she takes the cliff, she takes a big, massive vape and goes, and you see Johnny Depp go, just chuckling to himself, and then he answers the question. It's funny.
But do you know what? Do you know what it does show, mate? Right, is what this trial is showing is how shockingly bad the UK court system is. Because if you believe the UK court system, and then in turn the media in the UK, because what they did, obviously the Sun, don't like to mention it.
If you sorry to interrupt, but if you know, if Amber Heard's the story, it's not a story. Johnny Depp's the star, so they need to try to put it on him. Doesn't matter if it's not true or not. Let's just put it. looks like it's all on him, and because it'll sell more papers and it'll get more likes and it'll get more this and get more that. That's all it is. It's the media that spin it all. It's not the courts.
And the thing is, but in the UK with the court, they did stop him bringing in evidence which kind of proved that she was the one who was doing the
But this is a civil case, though, isn't it?
It is. I'm not sure what it was. Well, in the UK, it was he was suing the Sun or one of the papers, and this is the thing: whichever paper he was suing for libel or whatever it is, they had a vested interest in painting Amber Heard as the victim because Johnny Depp was suing them for something they had said. So do you see what I mean? So it's like, of course they're gonna do it that way. It's been car crash watching. I've only seen clips of it. It's been car crash, but her lawyer brought on like a psychologist as a witness, for his side or her side, sorry. And so he was asking this psychologist about so if you're a victim of domestic abuse, would you'd be paranoid? And basically, she went through all these different attitudes and symptoms and anxieties and what you would do. Like the abuser will blame the person who's been abused and kind of like spin it round in the media and things like this and in public. And she basically, as she just went on for like 10 minutes talking about exactly what Johnny Depp has been through, but had a psychologist confirming it. So the psychologist was supposed to be on the Amber Heard side, but the lawyer was so useless that he was just helping Johnny Depp's case all the time. It's embarrassing, mate. It's a weird lawyer. Like, he's done a bad job. But look, it is a football show. I said in jest we'll talk about Johnny Depp. We'll switch it back to football. Unfortunately, I'm having issues with my power, so I haven't got any notes. So I'm trying to think off the top of my head what's gone on this week. It seems like Haaland is going to go to Man City. Seems. Do you think? Are you surprised by that a little bit?
No.
So I tell you why I think I'm a little bit surprised is they seem exceptionally keen on Harry Kane. Obviously, they made a bid last year, didn't come off. I think Harry Kane may leave Spurs in the summer, but the one thing which I think keeps him there is obviously what's his face from Pochettino has left Paris. Conte has been linked with Paris, so I wonder if they kind of swap and Pochettino ends up back at Spurs. Harry Kane will be happy again, and they keep him. We talked about Nathan Jones, mate, earlier in the season, went back to Luton, and look where he is. Could Pochettino go back to Spurs if Conte leaves and have the same effect?
Why would Conte leave?
Well, apparently he wants the Paris job, is the stories which have been printed.
They say never go back, but I disagree with this one. I think it'd be good, better, especially if they could back him. But I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because on one hand, I think Pochettino did a tremendous job for Spurs. Like, I think he took them as far as he could with there being limits on funds and signing players.
The Champions League final, that was the time to strengthen. and they
Yeah,
didn't.
and Daniel Levy make all over him.
Yeah.
He's a problem, isn't he, Dan? Like I'm sure, we could go through several football clubs around the UK pyramid and ask the question: is the owner the problem? I listened to a podcast with Phil Brown this week, and he was on about. He said, and I'm going to try and paraphrase what he said. He basically said Ed Woodward is not to blame for the issues at Man United, because he was the reason why they sacked managers and never sacked Woodward is because Woodward was doing a good job in the eyes of the Glazers. He was doing what he was brought in to do. He never went back on anything he said. He didn't pretend to be a United fan or this, that, and the other. He was there to make the Glazers money commercially and oversee transfers. Like, do you think that's giving him a bit of a free pass, Woodward? Or do you think you've got to blame the Glazers?
He was a money man. It's nothing to do with football, and that shows obviously on the pitch. And look where it's got us. So you can win money, but ultimately success on the pitch brings more money, and they've not done that. They've been more worried about how many Instagram followers a player's got, or what else does he bring, how many shirt sales does he bring, not does he fit into the structure of the football team. So, yeah.
But should Woodward take any blame for the state United are in now, or is he just doing as he's told?
Yeah.
Is that a cop-out?
No, good. No, definitely. Yeah, I'm glad he's gone, and there'll be no tears shed. And he's out the door, and there's someone else has come in now. I think by the sounds of it, he's a lot better. By all accounts, Ed Woodward was asking Alex Ferguson, who are these tickets for, when he wanted complimentary tickets. You need to tell me who they're for, give me the name and that. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he's an idiot.
But then isn't I think his name's Richard Arnold. I'm not sure what the new guy.
Yeah.
Isn't he going to be in that same spot that Phil was talking about, whereby because the Glazers, if he's not doing what they want financially or whatever it is they do.
You can still be a financial man, but you still got to worry about the most important thing, and that's the success in football, the pitch. Because if you've got disgruntled fans, you're going to have protests every single week until this is fixed, or until basically they're out the club. So, but as you know, winning solves a lot of problems, and it shuts a lot of people up for a bit. So if they get success on the pitch, which is ultimately what they need to do, then they'll probably get a bit more quiet. But until then, these 1958. We was on the podcast with No Choftes last week, and we had a load of 1958, 2 or 3 lads on, and they were talking about it. And these lads aren't going away until Glazers are out. And these got a very good following. They've had a protest again today. You see it as the team are walking out, Glazers out, big massive signs. So yeah, you're gonna constantly see it. They're over in America in pre-season. I'm pretty sure that they'll do something over there because it's America and that's where the owners are from. So the owners might be there. So yeah.
Do you think on the pitch, like, how quickly do you think the manager can turn it around? Because really, I saw a
2
thing
years.
the other day.
2 years. 2 years.
Like, I think that's being optimistic, mate.
Still got a good pardon.
That's being optimistic, I think, as well.
No, it's not. People are saying 5-6 years. I'm saying competing. In 2 years, competing. And then the third year, you want to be winning. So, yeah, 2 years. First year, you get to know the players, try and get the system in, try and get the players out, getting the players in you need. And then second year, you've kind of got what you want, but you still need a couple or maybe 3 more players. Then you bring another transfer window. By then, it's 3 transfer windows you had. So you've got this one in the summer, this one in the winter, and another summer. That's 3 transfer windows. And then the second one, you hope to think you won't want to bring anyone in through halfway through the year, because that's not the best time to bring people in. And then you go again at the end of the second year, and then you're ready to go. That's
I think. So the only reason I think it might take more like 3 or 4 is because I look at that squad and I think they need to get rid of a lot and bring a lot in. And I think the likelihood of doing that in a couple of windows is difficult.
But lots of people have been saying that, but there is a lot of good players there. So you bring a lot more players in, change of atmosphere, change voice, change manager. This is how we want it. If you don't put the work in, and we'll see it on the numbers, if you're not running and you're not putting the effort in, then you'll be out the door. So if you get that kind of work rate from a Rashford, from a Sancho, from a Fernandez, from a Varane, so that you have still got a nucleus of a very, very good team there. It's just who you bring in with them. A Fred, a McTominay. You know, you've still got a nucleus of some good players there. Some very good players.
If the dressing room is as toxic as we're led to believe, even if you bring in new players, it's very easy for that toxic atmosphere to spread, even when you get several new players in. I think you've got to get rid of the players who are the problem, whoever they are. I don't know, exactly which ones are, ones aren't.
Well, I'm pretty sure the manager will be informed because Ralph Ragnick will tell him. So, and that's the good thing with him still being there, even though he's just been announced that he's got the Austria job. I'm pretty sure that it was announced that he's staying to do United as well, because it's only a part-time, the Austrian. So, and he's basically just a consultant. So, the new manager will come in, Ralph Ragnick will tell him what he thinks is best, or what the new manager coming in wants to know. Who are the problems? Who do we need to get rid of? Who do we need to keep? What is your opinion on them? And then he'll obviously have his own opinion, but he'll obviously listen to what he says. If someone's toxic and you need them out of the club because this is what happened, this is how they've been behaving the last 6 months, or this is the attitude they've been showing, this is the work rate they've been putting in, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch. Like, I've seen reports of them bringing in 12 players in this next window, and I'm like, that just won't happen. You only have to look at how they've spent money over the last 5 years.
Yeah, you're looking at 4, 5 maximum.
Yeah, I think so. So if you had
maximum, and these players, and two, probably one of them players, possibly two, has to be elite players, like elite players, like Benzema. Even though he's old, but a Lewandowski, if we're bringing a top forward in, or who else is there? Harry Kane. An elite player who are going to make you play, who are going to get the league, stand up and listen and think, well, these are
it's going to be difficult because they're not going to be in the Champions League. I think, actually, if you look at the way Ten Hag sets his teams up, Harry Kane, out of all those strikers you just mentioned, is the ideal fit for him. Just by the way he sets up, he likes to have like a striker who can hold the ball up and be a bit of a target man, but also kind of, run the channels and get in behind, which Harry Kane obviously can do if he can stay fit.
Rashford, there is a top player in there somewhere. Can he get the best out of him? I'm pretty sure he's licking his lips because what he's seen of him and saying, "Go on, what's happening?" Because you should be better now. You're 24, so if he gets him right, people have slept on him, but he needs to prove it. He needs to do it. Sancho, he's come on leaps and bounds. So the front three could look totally different, and then the midfield is going to look totally different next year, and then probably the back four look totally different. So it's going to have to be a gradual thing. The manager's going to come in and see what he can keep, what he can work with, and it's going to be a gradual thing to get ones out. Obviously, people who are out of contract are going to leave. Does Ronaldo stay? I keep him for another year, just of his attitude, of his goals, of his experience, and yeah, just go from there.
Last question for you on United then, mate. Say we're saying that they're going to sign 5 at a maximum. If you had to pick what positions, not what players, what positions they strengthen, like 5 people, 5 positions, who would you sign?
Centre forward, two midfielders, a centre half, and a full back.
A right back, is it?
Right back, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I can deal with Luke Shaw for a year, see what he does with the new manager, because he's good. Dalot, no. Wan-Bissaka, no. Tellez, no.
What about the boy who's on loan at Norwich as a backup to Luke Shaw? I forget his name. Yeah. Every time I see him play, he looks feisty at the very least.
Yeah, he is feisty, but he is feisty, but Chelsea just nearly scored. He is feisty, but you know, it might be too early for him yet.
Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp has signed a contract extension to 2026 because there was rumours, or he had said, I think initially, that at the end of his contract at 2024, he was going to take a break from football. How big a lift does that give Liverpool, the squad, the players, as they go into this chasing 4 trophies?
Massive. You've seen it before. Look what happens when the people, but Arsenal would want Arsene Wenger back. More some fans, but same with Alex Ferguson. When these top managers leave, it's very, very difficult to replace them. We're seeing that at the minute. It's very, very difficult, and he's a very, very good manager. Sometimes a bit annoying, but a very, very good manager.
In your opinion, is he currently the best manager in the world?
No.
So who do you think Pep is the best?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else up there with those two?
I put Conte up there.
I just don't have it at all. But I get why people like him. I just
the winner, mate.
The winner. See it.
He's a winner.
Yeah, but so's Roberto Di Matteo. But where's he?
What?
What's his name? Di Matteo.
What did he win?
Champions League? He won a Champions League with Chelsea.
He won one Champions League. Conte, whichever league he's been in, he's won the league. He's won a Champions League. He's come in with like 4 months to come and fluked the Champions League. So that's not that's a fluke for me. I'm very, very lucky.
But then isn't that what Conte's done with Tottenham? He's come in, he's going to get him top 4.
I'm not talking about Tottenham. I'm talking about Inter Milan. I'm talking about Chelsea. I'm talking about other Juventus. I'm talking about other teams that he's been to. And he's won the league.
Yeah, I accept it, and I know people like
Tottenham have totally different team. They're a lot better.
They do look a different team. I'll give you that.
They're a lot better, and I'm sure if United would come in, would he have done the same? I'm not sure because I think there's a lot more underneath at United than meets the eye.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think there's something there. What about Dele Alli, mate? When he looks at Tottenham and their resurgence. No, I just mean with the resurgence Tottenham have had, does he look at that and think, why didn't I hang around till the end of the season?
No. He's that ship sailed, mate. Something obviously broke down with him. He's broken. Something needs to. I don't know. Because 3 years ago, he was one of the best players in England. Could he go to Real Madrid? And now he can't get Evans' side. He's on the bench. And then relegation fodder. So,
mate, they're going down. I think Everton. I got to say, I really think they're going to go down, which is incredible, mate. When you think at the start of this season, they had money to spend, they had Rafa Benitez in charge, and if I told you they're going to be fighting for their lives and probably looking like they're going to go down, you wouldn't have believed me.
No.
Incredible. And as I say with about Rooney earlier, if Everton go down, mate, there is no guarantee that they come back up straight away because the Championship is just a different animal. It's like the only teams you could pick the teams over the last few years who've kind of run away with that Championship table, and like Newcastle, Fulham have pretty much run away with it this year. A few others, but most of the time it's so tight. And look at Stoke, mate. You look at that. If you go and look at that Stoke squad now, but they can't get anywhere near the playoffs season after season. And there's a few others. And I just think if people just think Everton are going to come straight back up, the one thing they've got in as an advantage to all the other teams is, regardless of parachute payments, Everton have got a shed load of money. Their owners are loaded, so if they want to kind of try and buy their way out, they can try. But again, I don't think there's a guarantee. depending on if they go proven Championship players or proven or Premier League players who may do it in the Championship. I still find even now I find it shocking that Everton are going to potentially get relegated from the Premier League when you look at the teams in the league.
Yeah, it's I think they dropped real clanger by bringing Frank Lampard in. Yeah, I do like Frank Lampard, but he's got no experience of being in relegation sides. Yeah, so
it was the wrong time to bring him in, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But like, again, start of the season, if I told you Villa, Burnley, Leeds, Brentford, Brighton,
Leeds are still down. Leeds are not out of it.
But, no, they're not completely out of it. But if I told you Palace, if I told you all those teams were going to be looking more likely to stay up than Everton,
you can never know now, mate. In the Premier League, you can never know. You know,
do you think it's going more like the Championship, where you see more freak results?
Yeah, you can't. You know, you get one team who have a bad season, or a lot of things happen at the club, or a manager change. It can happen because the Premier League now is so not strong but competitive. So
outside of the top, the big teams like that traditional big six in the Premier League, which teams have impressed you over the season so far? Like, obviously at the end of the season we'll do like a bit of a review
Newcastle,
and look back.
Newcastle, Leicester, but Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace, I'd go with that. I think they've been great.
Enjoyed watching them especially from Roy Hodgson, where they've been more rigid, but more defensive, and Vieira's a bit more expansive, enjoyable to watch, and they've got results through it as well. So, yeah, Patrick Vieira and Crystal Palace for me.
Brentford for me, I think they're 12th at the moment. They've had some fantastic results.
The home crowd has helped them got through the season. Start of the season when they beat Arsenal. Yeah, that was a good start, and it's just when you get a good start in the Premier League, you always see teams. Hull City have done it. All the teams sometimes have a good start, and they see them like 4th or 5th come November. You know they're going to be safe, and they drop like a stone after Christmas. But they've done all the hard work. They've done what they need to do, and that's what promoted teams. Chelsea have scored. Yeah.
Do you like with the Newcastle next season? What's their ceiling in your opinion?
Europe.
What, like Champions League or like Europa League sort of thing?
Any kind of Europe, mate. Any type of European football.
I had a discussion with someone the other day, saying they were basically saying about Eddie Howe and just saying everyone's saying what a great job he's doing, but like he had 100 million and like
you still got to blend these players in, bring them in, get them playing attacking football, get the crowd on side, which he has, and get results, and he's done all them. So you can't really.
We've also
miracles. Miracles win every game, but he's done near enough to it. So he's the same though. Next year he's under pressure. If he don't get a good start, he'll be down the road. So he's got to get a good start, get off to a good start in the start of the season. Otherwise, they won't mess about. They're on a mission, them. So if they don't get a good result and good start to next season, they'll change manager.
100%.
He'll know that. He'll know that kind of pot he's in. So, yeah.
And like you make a good point about the players. Like we've seen other football clubs, including your club, mate. United have brought in some massive names, some great players on paper, and they haven't worked for whatever reason. You've got to blend the players you bring in. So it's all right saying, he's had 100 million to spend. So of course he's, Newcastle are doing well, but he still had to get those players. Oh, did he?
Ronaldo, yeah. What a goal. He's cut.
No surprise, is it?
Matic just chipped it over. He's touched it and just volleyed it in the top corner.
Man's just ridiculous, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a problem though. He's a problem. We need to get him out.
Tell me again, how many goals has Messi scored this year? Out of La Liga, and
you can count it on one hand anyway. See if he's offside.
People, is it?
Oh no, he's not. He's well on.
Ah, you had me going there.
Oh, the touch though, the touch, mate. The touch, he just touches, pops up, he just goes bang and volleys it. Top bin.
Insanity, mate. How good the man is. Like at 37, it's just ridiculous. And that, like, to me, I think maybe this season, but I thought it anyway. But I think the discussion of who's better is dead. Like, in my opinion, it's only my opinion. I just think Ronaldo's the greatest of all time for me. Because he's just done it everywhere he goes. It's just insane figures. Don't get me wrong.
I don't.
Messi's incredible,
I
mate.
disagree with the greatest of all time with both of them, to be honest.
But all right, it's a debate, isn't it? And it's subjective, of course. Of course, it is. Like, everyone can have a different point of view and stuff like that. To me, the Messi versus Ronaldo debate, I think that's dead now. Like, you know, of course it's close, and I'm not saying Messi's a pub player, by the way. Like, you know, but they changed the game in terms of statistics for everyone, because it's just been insanity for years, isn't it? Like 50 goals a season, and if they didn't get 50 in all competitions, it was a bad season. And it's like, I remember when your striker was just expected to get 20 in all competitions.
Now they're scoring like 40, 50 goals. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's mental, mate. And then that's maybe where Harry Kane doesn't get enough credit for the couple of seasons he had, you know, a few years back, because he was right up there in terms of how many goals he'd scored.
And Lewandowski as well. He scores 40 goals a season as well.
So there is players who are trying to keep up with him. I'm trying to find this Ronaldo goal now. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, what a chip. Oh, mate. See, Matic should have been playing him all season. What a ball.
Yeah. Oh, that's
some finish, mind. It is some finish. It's the touch, though, mate. It's the first touch. And like, how many times do you see these top players like De Bruyne as well? Like, their first touch is incredible. Like I say it to my boy all the time when he's playing, because he plays like number 10 or like attacking midfield or whatever.
And I say, touch. You got a shit first touch, you got no chance.
Yeah. And I say to him all the time, make sure your first touch, and then you can have a look. Just to finish off, mate, Dylan Levitt.
I've got my Chinese with me. Chinese just got a.
Oh, mate, don't tempt me with Chinese now. I'll go to my missus and say, let's not bother going to Asda's. Let's get a Chinese instead.
Chinese, salt and pepper chicken, chili beef.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Go on, mate.
Dylan Levitt, United Academy player, isn't he? Has been linked with Cardiff as well as a few other clubs. Any good?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, mate. United, they're going to be they're going to be okay. They're going to be decent, and especially if they're letting him out on loan to a Championship side. How old is he?
He's only, I think he's like 19 or something. I was just trying to work out. Is he the one that has played for Wales? Oh no, I think that's someone else.
Yeah, so it'd be decent, and there would be.
Yeah, he played for Wales.
So he's only 19, but yeah, it'd be. I've only seen clips. I don't really watch the academies anymore.
He's 21. And he's played.
I've got MUTV, but I never really watch it anymore.
He's 21. Played 10 times for the full Wales side. He's played for all the different age groups. He's been on loan Charlton, Istra in 1961, and Dundee. Played 21 games for Dundee this year. Scored 3 goals. He's a midfielder. I mean, look, if he's in that Wales squad, it's not like years ago where there was no depth at all. There's a bit of depth there, not a great deal, but there is a bit of depth there. So if he's playing, then he must be fairly good, I would say. Be interested to know what he can do on a loan in the Championship, mate, because Championship is make or break for a lot of these players. Like, you either deal with it or you can't. So, I'd be interested in that, mate, I think. Especially because he's just done a full season in the Scottish Premier League. Go and do the Championship for a season. You kind of
stuffed him up a bit. Now they're up in the level. In Championship. Well, Championship's probably on a little bit better than,
I think it is. I think the Championship is better than the Scottish Premiership. I do. Maybe controversial, but I just think the quality of football is better.
Maybe Celtic, Rangers apart.
Yeah. I give you that. Craig asked a question I found quite interesting. He said when we were talking about like Stoke and all the different teams who haven't been able to come back up, like look at West Brom this year. They got a Premier League squad, nowhere near the playoffs. So I mean, yeah, going back like Everton, just got to be careful. I think if they think they're just gonna come straight back up, they got to make sure that they sign the right players and prepare the right way, or they could be in trouble. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologise for doing it from my phone this evening. It's been a bit different. I'm also losing my voice, which doesn't help. My power seems to be back on now, just about. But I didn't want to switch it back in case because it kept going off. So I thought, well, it's just going to disrupt the show and stuff. As always, appreciate all the comments and everything from people. I apologise if I haven't been able to get to them as much today, because obviously I was on my phone. But we'll be back to normal next week. Loads of stuff coming up, loads of shows coming up, loads of stuff. If you're a Patreon, tomorrow you get to see a My Story with actor and filmmaker Glenn Murphy is on. I'm doing a My Story 1 o'clock tomorrow lunchtime if you're around. It'll obviously be up to watch after as well, but it'll be live for the Patreons only. Until then, I bid you all a farewell. Rhodri, as ever, mate, a pleasure. Good chat. And the last question of the evening, mate. Are you team Johnny Depp or team Amber Heard?
What? Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
She sounds a right dick.
She does, mate. She sounds like she's hard work.
Johnny Depp's he doesn't seem type of he just he doesn't seem that type.
Yeah, there we go. That's asking the important questions as always. Ladies, gentlemen, see you all soon.